What is up, boyos? It is Water Buffalo Man here, and we're back for more Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle. Alright, so we have a new unit getting an EZA. It is the great Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, and we're going to be doing and we're going to be doing his how to build in this video, guys. So let's just dive right in. His name is A Promise Made to Kakarot, Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta Angel. His leader skill becomes Worthy Rivals category, Key 4, HP attack and defense of 170. Or Super Fizz type key, Key 4, HP attack and defense of 100%. 12 key Super becomes Final Burst Cannon Extreme, greatly raises defense for 1 turn, causes colossal damage to enemy. Not a whole lot to it. 18 key becomes Big Bang Attack Extreme, raises attack and defense for 1 turn, causes mega colossal damage to enemy, and greatly lowers defense. And now he has a unit Ultra Super Attack, which again is an 18 key, but only activates when key is 18 or more with the Majin Buu Saga category ally whose name includes Goku. It massively raises attack, greatly raises defense for 1 turn, and causes mega colossal damage to enemy. I do not know. It also massively lowers defense. I don't know if this is a full-time stacking, because normally it would say comma da 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 and da da da. But I don't know if this is full-time or if this is all for 1 turn. We'll find out once we get the unit in the game, actually, and it will show us in the Super Attack thing, actually. But his passive passive skill becomes Vegeta's Determination, Key +2, attack and defense of 200% at the start of turn, plus an additional Key +2 and attack of 100% for 5 turns from character's entry turn, so just really buffing up his attack stat. Plus an additional attack and defense of 10% each time Key rises by 1, up to 180%. So you could theoretically give him 9 key spheres, 9 Fizz key spheres, right? And that's a full 180% because key goes up by 2 there. So it'd be the 20% every time you give him a Fizz key sphere, 10% every time you give him anything else. So again, if you give him 9 Fizz key spheres for some reason, you can max out that 180% right off the get-go and give that 180 on top of his 200% to attack and defense, and then 100% for the first 5 turns. Guards all attacks and launches an additional super attack when key is 18 or more. So if you launch this super attack, greatly raising your defense, and then get the second one to pop because it's in his passive when you have 18 key, he's going to double raise his defense greatly. Plus he has a guaranteed guard, and if you, since he's a Fizz type unit, get his level 5 additional to proc, he could technically stack for a 3rd time. After all allies attacking the same turn have obtained key spheres, all allies defense plus 10% self-excluded per key obtained by the character himself. Count starts from the 18th key. So that means like when he's at his 18 key super, the 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th key are the only ones that'll go towards the allies for defensive support. So at a max, I think you can get 60% if I'm understanding that correctly. That's still pretty good 60% defense if you give him 24 key, but don't quote me on it. Plus an additional key +4 and attack and defense of 59% when the name of an ally who is attacking the same turn or an enemy includes Goku, excluding Youth, Ginyu Jr., etc. Plus an additional key 4 and attack and defense of 59% when there's a Majin Buu Saga category ally whose name includes Goku attacking in the same turn. So if you put Goku on the same team and in the same rotation as this guy, you're going to get 108% attack and defense and key +8 right off the start. Plus he gets 4 key right there. So that's 10 key right off the rip. Plus, depending on what team you're on, you got 16 key right off the start. All these defensive stacks. And then literally you only would need to give him, what, Saiyan Warrior Race, keep Royal Lineage gives him key 2, so I'd automatically give you it. Okay, so Royal Lineage would be the one that'd give you key, really. I'm sorry, Golden Warrior does too, but that'll only give you 1 key. But either way, you only need to give him 1 or 2 key if everything is popped perfectly in his passive. He does in fact have an active skill called Vegeta and Kakarot, Key +1 as well, which will just buff your key up to even more, put you at 17 automatically from the passive and from the active skill if you're not giving him any key spheres yet. Can be activated when there's, Key +1 attack of 59%, defense of 78% for 1 turn. So that's actually really solid. So that'd be something you'd want to use like when you're in a really tough boss fight, you know he's super in slot 1, stack that on top of everything that he's already going to be getting from his passive, especially if it's within, like, especially if you have more than 18 key, actually, because the guard activates on instantly once you have 18 key or more. So it can be activated when there's a Majin Buu Saga category ally whose name includes Goku attacking the same turn starting from the 3rd turn from the start of battle, once only. So that gives you a pretty solid defensive buff on top of everything, and his stats are honestly really good across the board. Really, really good. Got some really good categories, especially with him fitting on Majin Buu Saga. And we just got a true Majin Buu Saga 200% lead in Gotenks finally. So that's going to open this man up to a lot of different teams you can fit him on. So realistically, you could probably run him slot 1 besides these guys. Beside them, if you wanted to. And do just fine with these two running 1 and 1A, pretty much. If you wanted to on that certain rotation. Or you could run him alongside the new the EZA Int Super Saiyan 3 Goku we just got. Or even if you run this guy on the team, you could run him alongside him as well. Either one works. But there's something else I wanted to dive into before I dive into how to build this guy, how I'm going to build this guy. The man, the myth, the legend, Halvard over here on Twitter, I almost said Twitch, Twitter X actually did some breakdowns in terms of what his defensive stats going to look like. So start of turn defense, 202,000. Post 12 key, automatically that. Post 18 key, once you hit 18 key, it shoots up to that much. Post unit 18 key, so meaning 18 key super attack with the unit active skill, or with the additional attack, I'm sorry, so it'd be the Goku super, with one additional attack and 12 key, so it's double greatly raising, this puts him at 1.13. Post 18 key with 2 additionals, so it'd be 2 stacks of the greatly raising 12 key plus 1 of the 18 key with the unit, so it'd be putting it at 1.41. For the first 5 turns, you're looking at a slightly higher defensive buff. I don't know where he's getting the defense in this, because it doesn't say anything about defense for the first 5 turns. It only says attack. I don't know where he's getting that from, but alright. Then when you have a Goku ally on your team, it pushes the defense a little higher, closer to 2 points. I'm going to leave these stats on screen, because it's an astonishing amount of numbers here. I'm going to try not to cover it all, because then it makes it too convoluted and complicated. But realistically, what you're wanting to look for is this number down here, the max possible defense, because you're going to be looking at with your active skill activated, with the 40% support activated, because you're probably going to run a support most of the time. And if you even don't, you're looking at roughly a 2 million defense, give or take. But he did do some number corrections right here. His max without his activated, so meaning like if he doesn't activate his active attack it, but every other thing procs that is possible in his defense, so 2 12 key supers from the hidden potential plus the guaranteed 18 key one, and then the 18 key super as well, you're looking at about a 2 million defensive stat. But with his active activated, and all those other situations that happen with the Goku on rotation, whole 9 yards, he's looking at close to 3.5 million. So now, you're probably wondering, how do you build this guy? Well, this one's relatively simple as well. He has no criticals built into his passive. Any way, shape, or form, he has no criticals built into his link skills either. So you're definitely going to want to be going with this man critical and dodge. So for top left, you're going to want to go with... Yeah, top left, you're going to want to go with 3 crit in the first path on the left, the 5 additional built in automatically, and then 6 dodge in the other 2. And then bottom right as well, 3 crit on the bottom left, and then 9 dodge. So you're going to go 6 critical, 5 additional, and then 15 dodge is going to be my recommendation, because that's straight across the board, kind of gives him that little bit of dodge when you need it, if for some reason his defense isn't maxed out at that point in time when you're putting him in that situation. Gives him that chance to crit as well with the 6, but also still has that built-in 5, so you can get that additional, that third additional attack to pop off, so do 3 supers in 1 turn to really buff up that defense. So it's going to be 5 crit, or no, 5 additional, 6 crit, 15 dodge. And then for skill orbs, we're going to go critical dodge all the way across the board, or additional dodge, your choice. But I'm going to recommend critical dodge, because with a unit like this, with a ridiculously high defensive stat of close to 3 million, but all averages about 1 million or higher, and a guaranteed guard, you're more than likely going to want to use that buffing for the critical hit to do more damage. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys back here next time.